Hi guys, Dwayne from Dirt Devil RC Motorsport here with you again for another fun little DIY project. There are times when I'm out, got my car out on the track, and I tend to lose it in the crowd. It sort of blends in, you know, I might be running a darker bodied car, and it sort of blends into the carpet or just blends in with the crowd, and you know, I have a crash or whatever. And I decided I wanted to find a way of being able to keep track of my car. So I came up with this novel idea, and I thought I'd share it and show you how to make it all on your own. So what you'll need is, in this one, I've got green LED. I've got a 91 ohm resistor. Hopefully it makes the LED a little brighter. Some varying sizes of heat shrink. This is an offcut from my fibre optic cable that I use to make my underglow. A pre-wired JST plug. Now this plug will also depend on how you want to plug it into your car. I've got a extension that I've put in that's plugged into my receiver that has two female versions of the JST, plus it has a female Futaba plug, so I don't have to worry about plugging straight into the receiver. But if you're going into the receiver of your car, you'll probably want to use a Futaba plug so as you can plug it in, but this is one that I just had laying around. So obviously you'll need some solder, some wire cutters, and some wire strippers. I've got my soldering iron warming up over there. I've got my soldering iron cleaner, got my third hand ready to go. And what I believe is probably, it's not the most important, but it's one of the more important pieces. I've only got one left. I've got to get some more. And this is a little piece of recycling that I've been doing. When you get a pen, a clicker pen, like these, you know, before I throw them away, you know, when the ink's run out or whatever, before I throw them away, I take the springs out of them. These can be very handy in any sort of electronics project where you've got sharp corners or pieces are going to be getting flexed. As with today's little project. So these things are always handy. So just one of those. Let's get started. Alrighty, so let's get started. Get my LED. Cut off, shorten the positive. Now I've already pre-trimmed my resistor. Let's put that on here, onto the positive side. Like so. Yeah, that's on there. Red cable goes onto the resistor. Heat shrink. Now before I go too much further, what I might actually do is there is a little tip that you're gonna have to do here. I'll take that heat shrink back off. Get your side cutters if you've got a good set. You can even do it with maybe a little bit of sandpaper or something, but just go in here and on the edge of your LED, you'll see there's a little lip. You have to trim that off Just be careful if you're doing it this way. I just got hit in the face with a piece, but just go around, just trim it off, because it's going to be important a bit later on. Last little bit just there. Be careful not to cut your posts. Alright, trimmed that off. A little bit there I missed. Like that. Now we'll put the heat shrink back on here. Like so. And then we'll put the negative cable on. I've already got that pre-tinned. After all, it is an offcut, so it's probably something I had used for another project and never got around to it. Alright, trim the post. There we go, like so. Now, bit of heat shrink. Oh, we got them on there. We'll get the soldering iron out here. We'll just put that heat shrink in place permanent. Right. Oh, there we go. So that's that. These cables will probably have to be trimmed a little bit shorter later on because I've got an extra long extension lead on my plug. But yeah, so that's that. Now what we do is we put that aside, get our fiber optic. Make sure you clean it up. You don't want rough ends on it because that can affect the way the light goes through your LED, through the fiber optic. So just square off the end with a blade. There we go, like so. Yeah, it's nice and clean. Yeah, the light should travel down that well. Alright. Now, you get a piece of heat shrink. It's almost the same size as your fiber optic. You just slowly feed it on there until you get a little bit of it down inside the heat shrink, like so. As you can see, I've got maybe 4 or 5 millimeters of it in there. That's probably all I really need. Cut that off. And what that does is that enables me to, when I put this bigger piece of heat shrink on there, I can shrink it over top of this and it'll actually grab and hold a lot better. So what I've got to do now is just melt this on so as it holds onto the fiber optic. Try not to heat too much towards the end here because it will pull the heat shrink off. Alright, but make sure you heat it up really well so as it sticks to that plastic in the fiber optic. Alright, so there we go, like so. Now, here's the fun part. Get the spring. Feed the fiber optic down into the spring a little bit, like so. Right. Then get your LED. Feed the LED also up into the spring. Try and get as much of it up in there as you can. Try and screw the resistor in there as well. Oop, mess that up. There we go, like so. Just screw that up in there like so. Stretch the spring out if you have to. You're going to have to later on anyway. Alright. So stretch the spring out. get that resistor up in there, like so. Alright. Now get a bigger piece of heat shrink over the top. Oh, my heat shrink doesn't fit. I'm going to have to get a bigger piece. This one's going to work. Slide that over there. Right. Over the top of that. Make sure that it's not too long. You don't want it super long. I should have done this earlier. So I cut a little bit off. This always happens when you do things on the fly. Right. So have a look, because you need some of your spring to be clear at the bottom. Right. So like so. Feed this up onto here. About there's fine. And shrink this on. Using black heat shrink will help guide the light up through the heat shrink, through the fibre optic. Right, make sure you shrink it on there nice and good. Gives a nice pattern just there too. Nice and tight. There we go, like so. Then, right, so after a little bit of a setup change, bought my stand in, bought another one of my cars. It didn't quite make it into my favourite bodies videos because it wasn't finished. Now I think it pretty much is. It is absolutely one of my favourites. It's a 1965 or 66 Mustang Fastback. When I got this one, it was already pre-painted, and I decided to make it my own Dirt Devil RC Motorsports team car. Made all my own stickers for it. Just recently finished off doing some custom headlights for the car, as you can see in there. Got some aftermarket, I found some aftermarket lights online, and just print off a little sticker, cut out the body line here, the body here, made a custom lens that went in behind, and cut the sticker out and put the sticker on there to make it look like more modern day lights. And then on the back I updated them. I got rid of the old school style headlight tail lights, and I put in some, I believe they're 2016 Mustang tail lights. I made up some stickers and backed them, so they're all dark, but I made them look sort of modern day. But as you can see on here, I made an aerial. That's what today's project was. It's this little aerial here, as you can see. Alright, now the one that I made today, right here again, just plug it in. Yeah, today's aerial was green. Alright, I'll just show you that I haven't put it on this car. This car I put this one on the car and tested it last week. And yeah, it's pretty good, to the point where I actually got somebody actually ordered one from me. They wanted me to make them one in blue. But here's the one that I made today. As you can see, there's the green one. There's the green light. Right. And mostly when you're on the track, because of the ambient lighting, that's all you're really looking for, is that bright green dot with this one. But the car that I've got here sitting in front of me right now is a little different. Turn the radio on, turn the car on. We got the light off. As you can see, this one's red. Nice, bright red. Like so. Right. But then you come around here, you turn the headlights on, eh? So there's my red Here we go, there's the headlight. Little headlight, and I'll put a little light in here. See, there's the pattern that it makes from the cutouts. We come back here. 2016, I believe they are, style tail lights. It's just one LED back in there that lights up right now. And again, got some little, where the exhaust should be, I put a little light in there. We'll push the button again. Now, as you can see up the front here, the lights have changed. Gone away from the original headlight to a kind of Eleanor-esque from Gone in 60 Seconds style light to single spotlight, but I put a single indicator or single hazard light there. When you come around the back, notice the red light is gone down the bottom here, the orange light's gone down the bottom here, but the tail lights are a little dull. When I do the button again, you see they brighten up. That's because now all of the lights are on this car. Right, there you go, nice and bright at the front. Put it on an angle so we don't blind you. Right, but there's all those lights. Look, there's aerial standing out nice and bright. But then I've also got on this car party mode. Now I could plug the aerial in and get that to have party mode as well, but I don't see a need to it. It's the tail lights flashing away. But yeah, so that's today's project, people. A nice aerial for your car, so it doesn't disappear on track. You know, nobody likes to lose their car out on the track, you know, not be able to see it, because it just leads to trouble. But, you know, something fun. Thanks for watching, guys, and if you did like the video, just give that thumbs up a click and maybe consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. And yeah, I'll see you next time.